Welcome back to the Healthy Skin Coach Show. I'm your host, Takashi, helping you biohack your life for clear skin and longevity. Today, I have a very interesting guest with me. Her name is Anastasia Georgievskaya, and she is the CEO of Haut.AI, and this is artificial intelligence and machine vision for skincare. So thank you for joining me.
Hello, hi everyone. Takashi, thank you for inviting me to join this conversation. Yeah, happy to share more insights about skin tech.
Sure. And I'm looking on the website, and it says Haut.AI is an Estonian company providing an AI-powered SaaS platform for skincare and pharma companies. Yeah, I would love to get to know your background and what inspired you to create Haut.AI.
Sure, thank you. Appreciate the question. I would say that this story started about 4 years ago. My personal background is in biophysics and bioinformatics, so I really big fan of longevity research and also biological breakthroughs that are happening right now. So I would say that we're living in a very exciting time when everything is moving super fast. And when we came up with the idea, it was a time when omics data became very popular, different type of genomics, transcriptomics, omics, proteomics data, everything which basically omics. And we got the idea that multiple neural networks are appearing, architectures, data sets, which can be used for research. And for strange reason, people are underestimating the value of the imaging data, and they focus more on different kind of, I would say, classical omics data. So we realized that images is something which is cheap data type, and you can acquire it very easily. So it's easily affordable, accessible for multiple people worldwide. And why just not using this type of data for making assessment of your health? And we obviously decided to start with the first frontier of our body, which is skin. We realized there's huge demand from just regular consumers and also the business. I would say that we operate primarily in cosmetics market and also in pharmaceutical, medical dermatology. And the industry now has dramatic transformation because there is huge demand. This industry is huge. It's quite conservative, I would say, but it has huge demand for digital transformation. The consumers are powering this trend, and they want to get the personalized skincare products. They want to have something which specifically designed for them and which fits them best and which helps them improve their skin condition. And if you want to deliver this type of digital services, you basically need the tools first to help you collect the data, then secondly, profile skin data accurately from the images. And the third part is building advanced analysis algorithms based on AI and machine learning to help you develop the best possible skincare routines.
Interesting. Yeah, I completely agree with you that the future of healthcare, and in this case, skincare, is personalized and customized to your specific skin type. Everyone is using, the same products, and we all have different types of skin, whether that's dry or oily or a combination. And the generic products in the stores don't really help certain skin types. So I find your algorithm interesting in customizing the products based on what skin types we have.
Yes, exactly. The paradigm that existed before is one solution fits all, but you're completely right that everyone has different skin time, different initial starting point. So if I'm a person and I have specific concerns, right? So first of all, I want to improve my concerns and achieve a better and healthier skin. But if I have already perfect skin, right? So if it's shiny and it has no imperfections, but I still want to see what are my limitations. So how can I make my good looking skin even better? So that means that every person has their own unique journey. There's a different starting point. It's very important to identify what's your existing skin condition, what's your best possible skin look, and have comprehensive guidelines and, let's say, journey to achieve the way you want to look. So you can only power this journey if you can make two things. So first, you need to be able to analyze one time point measurement, which is important to identify the initial steps. And next step would be that the technology to track your skin should be that accurate so that you can see the minor changes, because obviously your skin will not change dramatically in 1-2 days. So you really need to be able to identify these small steps, but bring you to the milestone. So tracking the dynamics is even more important than tracking particular time point. And for that, you basically need quite powerful technologies.
And you use imaging software, correct? You don't actually touch the skin itself.
That's correct. So we're using images. So we work primarily with image data combined with different type of other health, lifestyle related data, like the amount of your sleep, your activity, your exposure to sunshine. But the primary source of information for us are images.
Mm-hmm.
And it's both. I would say that this approach has the advantages and some disadvantages. So first of all, you can enable the remote diagnostics. You can only use images, so you can stay at home and get their comprehensive skin report. But for some conditions, it's basically the case that you need to address a doctor. For example, if you need to pass some tests, identify if you have, for example, fungal acne, or for example, it's bacteria acne. For some conditions, you need the palpation of your skin, and of course there are several limitations, but basically for major skin concerns, especially aesthetic related, you can rely on selfies.
Interesting. I was wondering like what the accuracy of the images are compared to in-depth analysis when they take samples of your skin and analyze that. Yeah, what is the accuracy rate for your imaging algorithm?
So I think that it's very important in any industry to understand what are the limitations of the technology and specific approach. I would say that when it comes to imaging, the ground truth is if you can see something with your eye, maybe with a trained eye, trained eye means skin expert or professional dermatologist or a clinical dermatologist, if this a medical specialist can detect specific features associated with specific condition, that means that algorithm will be able to detect it too. But for some cases, technology based on only imaging will fail to predict specific condition. From our experience, when it comes to tracking and ranking of visual features, the algorithms are very accurate. So they can change the dynamics over days, over weeks, over months, which is, I think, great. Because usually it takes up to 1 month for cosmetic products to so you see the effect of it on your skin. But for some conditions, again, when you need to pass the test, unfortunately, technology will fail here. So this is the natural limitation as for now. So I think that it's very important to understand what's the current limitation and where the technology might go. And when it comes to detection of some conditions that are not visible with like regular imaging, we basically have an extension, which is now it can be powered by your mobile phone to, for example, have infrared imaging, or skin can be analyzed in UV light to show the fluorescence of the multiple molecules of the skin. And all these type of data combined with UV and infrared can give even more insights about your skin. So, for example, very well established method in, let's say, the interaction of biophysics and dermatology is tracking your bacteria of your skin, particularly propionic acne, on using fluorescence. So fluorescence is a natural effect of some molecules that can quench lights of, say, UV light in particular, and then this molecules becomes excited, and then they can fluorescence a specific wavelength. So specific fluorescence is associated with specific type of bacteria, and basically if you have this bacteria on your skin, you will see them in the UV light. So this imaging is also quite helpful. It's obvious that you cannot see bacteria with your bare eye in regular light, but you can see them in the UV light.
But regular customers might not have the UV light available to them, correct? So they would have to go to a skin specialist?
Yeah, so basically there are several scenarios how you can get this type of diagnostics. So some of the retail points are now proposing the diagnostics with dermascans, so you can adjust them and see your skin profiles. And I think that there is a lot of potential for the mobile phones development and different embedded devices that will be able to, let's say, track your skin fluorescence too. So the current state is, yes, we don't have these devices right now. But I think if you have a look at how fast the consumer electronics is developing right now, it's quite possible that in just several years we will have devices that enable this UV analysis, or maybe some lenses that we will apply to our iPhones and also get this type of diagnostic.
Okay, so your service is not available to the retail customer yet.
I would say that part of our algorithms are available for retail customers right now, working in regular light and cross-polarized light. We basically have pipeline to process three types of the data. So the regular light, the cross-polarized, and UV light. It just depends on what kind of instrument is enabled to our SaaS platform. So we are providers of algorithms, and then the technology basis depends on the particular research center or retail point. So what kind of images they can feed to our system.
Got it. So it's in the future, will it be an app that I can download and then use my camera in the phone to analyze my skin?
Yeah, that's one of the potential options. For example, having mobile app, or maybe it will be just a web page where you can reach and upload your pictures and get back results, or maybe just some smart mirror, or maybe it's just any type of dermascan that you can have at home.
Got it. Okay. And when do you think the product will be ready for consumers?
We particularly don't work in B2C sector, but if you have a look at the CES conference, which is held in Las Vegas, I think that there are many devices that were already presented, which have a potential to capture images of your skin in different light. I would say that as for now, they're like early prototypes, but I think in like 5-6 years maximum, we will have these devices available for purchase from Amazon, from multiple websites, different models from multiple providers, and it will become common practice. So it means that this technology that used to be advanced biophysics technology developed some time ago, so it's very well known, very well established method, will be democratized, and it will enter every household.
Yeah, that would be exciting. I would love to analyze my own skin without having to go to the doctor's office.
Or maybe you can analyze it at home and send your doctor the pictures to get his second opinion. So you will have the opinion of the algorithm. You can also share these pictures with your doctor, and getting two opinions on your skin. I think it's also kind of freedom, and we basically see that more accurate diagnostics is now available for multiple users.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, have you ever analyzed your skin using Vizia or maybe other similar large imaging devices that provides high resolution imaging of your skin?
I have not, and I would love to.
That is really exciting. I think it's also very interesting to track yourself over time and collect more information about how you change over time, what skin concerns do you gain, or do you get rid of. And there is an opinion that you should, as you're quite young, you should pass all different type of tests, and then you can use them as baseline during your life. And I think it's quite curious to collect your different types of biological data over time. And I also think that people should be making more pictures high resolution, so that as the methods are growing more and more powerful, they can also analyze their own retrospective data over time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I definitely agree with you. I think everyone should get tested based on their bodies, and especially with things like food, like a food sensitivity test will tell you exactly which foods to avoid when it comes to the inflammation profile. That
I
can
agree.
save
Food
you.
allergies is a big market.
Oh, huge. And it should be much bigger because it can prevent a lot of medical conditions from happening if you just understood your body's limitations and weaknesses when it comes to food. But most people just, are addicted to food and they love eating, and they just, unfortunately, are almost poisoning their bodies with the amount of inflammatory chemicals that are released inside the body. It took me 26 years to figure out my own body, and I had to go through severe acne and severe eczema, and then the depression that comes with suffering from skin conditions. And now my goal is to help everyone heal their eczema and acne and psoriasis using natural methods and using food as the ultimate medicine, not drugs, not harsh chemicals. So I can see
I
myself.
would say it's a very altruistic and great goal. And I also think it brings everyone to the question of people need to get more education, and there is a mission for educating as much persons as possible on the potential, let's say, outcomes and potential threats. And this, like, in terms of scientific research, we have made such a great leap, and therefore I think it is worth having courses on their major aspects of about longevity in schools, and also include it into the, let's say, general course of biology that we have in schools or maybe universities.
We need way more education, and unfortunately we don't have. I mean, schools don't teach you nutrition, and nutrition really isn't even taught in med school. So doctors focus on using drugs to heal when it really is a food problem. you know that's kind of why I got fed up with the whole healthcare system and started my coaching business. And yeah, I want to help people heal the right way. So, and in the future, I totally can see myself utilizing algorithms like Haut.AI to help analyze my client's skin using pictures.
Yeah, it could be a great idea. And also imagine having a system that helps you store images in one place. And I again think it's very important to see what's your attraction, what's the dynamics, what's your response to different interventions that you're having, if it is changing your diet or the bioadditives that you take, the sports, the sleep. And again, I think one of the problems, I wouldn't say problems, but like challenges and cosmetics is, this problem is well established in medical field, so it's low adherence to different kind of treatments. So many drugs are not taken as they are prescribed, and this is why many therapeutics also fail. And when it comes to any type of routines in skincare, I think it's again a question of low adherence. So whether you have a therapy or you have some, let's say, protocol for skincare products, you're also not using it as recommended. And it's very important to motivate people. And I think one of the strongest motivation is showing your progress, maybe small progress, but it's okay to take baby steps. And you see that really what you're doing, you're benefiting from that. And this is the best motivation to, like, stick to this routine, which finally will help you improve your skin condition.
Yeah. On that point, we have people who are using steroid creams for years, and you're only supposed to use it for about 2 weeks maximum. And when people constantly use steroid creams, their skin becomes dependent on this hormone that inhibits the immune response and the inflammation process artificially. And then their skin becomes so dependent. And then when they try to get off, they experience topical steroid withdrawal symptoms where it can even get worse, and there's redness and itching and burning.
I would say I'm not the biggest expert in steroids biology, but from, like, if you ask from my opinion on that, I think it's also the question of if you have acute stage, right? Um, and so you really need to take actions right now. I think it is worth using steroids because you need to, like, survive over this peak, which makes sense. But then it's again, I think, the lack of education, because I don't think doctor will prescribe you to stay on steroids for more than 2 weeks because it's not how it is designed. And then people are not experts in, I would say not everyone is expert in biology or biochemical pathways or like hormone biology. So when it comes, people are not addressing to a doctor, and they just start to cure themselves, which is very harmful. Opposed to if we had more education in this area, I think that people will be unlikely to act this way because it's really harmful for them. And I think it's important to have understanding of biology and knowing some of the basics. Of course, it might be an ambitious goal because while we're at school, we're also, let's say, there's limited time and you need to absorb as much knowledge as, let's say, as possible. But it's again a question of education. And I think here, so basically what could be a next step towards that is where growth and, let's say, of telemedicine, where you can send a picture and get some automated AI analysis, which will tell you that you are not having this acute stage and you should stop using steroids because you basically can heal in other ways. You should address a doctor. And then that some people feel uncomfortable addressing to a doctor because they are afraid that doctor will be judgmental and will tell them that they're doing everything not right. And I think there's also kind of psychological barrier. And I think the growth of telemedicine, and as it propagates naturally into our life, will help people overcome this barrier, where they can just send a picture and get some feedback initial, and then, for example, they can have an appointment to a GP doctor or dermatologist. It will really improve their quality of life. And when it comes to skin conditions, which I personally think, usually people take it, I would say, easily because it's not life threatening. And there was a really nice paper, I think a year ago, which was saying that a lot of people have undiagnosed skin conditions and they're not aware of them at all. And they have dermatitis, they have different types of inflammation. They just don't know about it because they never address a doctor. And I think this is a huge problem. And if we could lower this barrier, so if you could just make a picture and get some pre-assessment of your skin just to say if it looks okay or not, and you should address a doctor, it could really improve the quality of life, because skin conditions are often associated with distancing and feeling, let's say, insecure, feeling not confident about yourself, which is not life-threatening, but it really decreases the quality of your life.
Yep. And I've been through all the things that skin patient would experience, and I never was satisfied with dermatologists because they weren't on call, 24/7. You would always have to go visit them, and they never once asked me about my diet. So whenever clients come to me, the first thing I ask is, what's your diet like? Yeah, I want to be the dermatologist that actually cares and answers your questions when they come up, instead of having to go to the doctor's office. So that's been my goal.
But also think about that if we had a system that could collect your symptoms, right? Summarize them, compared with other known cases, make this comparative analytics, and then deliver doctor an aggregated report. So he has all essential information that a customer provided before the appointment to save up time for the person, save up time for the doctor, and don't miss any important details. So I think it's kind of telemedicine that really will improve the quality of the medical service.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to your algorithm, do you utilize machine learning so that you can improve the algorithm over time?
Yes, definitely. We are leveraging the approach of AI and machine learning into our algorithms. We use some of the classical computer vision methods, so sometimes we perform perfectly. We're using mostly machine learning models and neural networks to solve the computer vision tasks in relation to skincare. And I think it's important here to highlight that so there exists kind of general artificial intelligence, so it's the development of this area in general, and very specific artificial intelligence. So in our case, it's artificial intelligence for skincare, for processing skincare data. It has its own challenges. So many data sets lack diversity, and for example, skin is quite uniform, so it has specific color representation which is specific to skin, and it's quite difficult to achieve very high accuracy when it comes to their specific field. And this is what we're focusing in our company to deliver the best accuracy methods.
Definitely. I want everyone to get clear skin and achieve longevity. And that's my goal for all my viewers and listeners. And and Anastasia's website is Haut.AI, Haut.AI. And where can the listeners find you other than your website?
So basically, I'm available on Facebook and LinkedIn, and also the group of our. So you can find our company pages also on Facebook or LinkedIn.
Awesome. If you're listening or watching, make sure you like their pages and stay up to date on the latest technology on artificial intelligence for skincare. Thank you, Anastasia, so much for joining the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much, Takashi. It
Yep.
it was a great pleasure.
Have a great day. Bye bye.
Have a great day. Bye bye.